Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. I am going to try something very different today. I am going to see if I can roll this shit. This is like shelf lining, and I'm assuming it's like a vinyl. I didn't really stick my finger in there and investigate, but usually any kind of shelf lining is some kind of paper that is like wipeable. You can wipe it, wash it, whatever. And this has a sticky side to it. And my thought was, I want to try to make some beads out of it. I thought maybe I could use this to make some beads. I have no clue if it would be easier to make beads this way or harder. We are about to find out. But I was just looking for a quick and easy way for people to be able to make vinyl beads without having to deal with having tons of magazines around or glazing them, because I'm thinking these would not need to be glazed. You don't even need glue. You just need scissors and this shit. I got this at Dollar Tree for $1 for a roll. I just picked kind of like a, I can't even tell without my glasses on what this is. Almost would look like a countertop, you know, stone, that kind of thing. It's not really marbled. It's just looks like stone, like tile. It comes in all kinds of different colors and patterns, so I thought this would be cool. Here's my thinking. 2 ways I can do this. I can try cutting the triangles and rolling on my paintbrush, but I would have to leave about this much, not sticky. So I'm thinking I would peel back the paper and stick some paper there so that I can roll on the paintbrush. Obviously it can't stick to the paintbrush because I have to slide it off after. And that's one way, and that makes it so that you can have a smaller core. The other thing is I could just roll these on a straw, and that would just stick to the straw and roll the whole bead, and then you cut the ends of the straw. That would absolutely be the easiest way if kids wanted to do this. I'm going to try both ways, and I am going to try some glazed, some not. Let's just go to my crafting station and see if we can roll this shit and make some beads. Wow. Let's start by just opening this up. I have never tried this or nothing like this, so could be a complete fail. But it's fun to find out, right? I'm already destroying things. It's not vinyl. It is like a shiny paper. It'll be good. Let me see if it rips. It's hard to rip it, probably because of the adhesive. But anyway, that's what it looks like. And on the inside is that typical paper that we peel off. So I need crafting glasses on. I'm just going to hand cut. And it's cool because there's little grid lines. So if someone wanted to, if they want to just make tube beads, they could just cut on the grid. First, let's see if this even will work. So I am going to cut on the grid. Let me put the camera down now, I guess. I don't know if you can see those grid marks. Ah, there you can. So I'm just going to, I don't know, I'm just going to cut. Wow, just sliding my scissors right along. I cut this at like the 1 inch mark, but I'm just going to go ahead and trim the rough edge off that it came with. So here's my thinking about rolling on a paintbrush, you know, or something not too wide, so you don't have a big core of the bead. I could just leave this paper there, but I worry that it would come off, so I'm going to peel it down a little bit. Not as easy to do as it sounds. And I'm just going to take a piece of paper. I'm just going to take a magazine page, and let's just cut a little strip. And then this will stick to this. So I'm just going to put a piece like that, and I'm going to trim it around. Now I have something stuck on there that I can wrap around my paintbrush. This is so exciting. Now what I'm going to do is, obviously I'm leaving this on until I get to it, and my plan is just to keep rolling. it's working so good. Whoop. Oh, I made a wrinkle. I was easily able to fix that. Even if you make a wrinkle at this point, it's going to get covered anyway. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and make a tube bead. We'll do a tapered one next. This is pretty freaking cool. Okay, I'm not getting a perfect edge because I don't think I cut perfectly. But geez, the first time I ever do this, so pretty sure it's okay. I want to make sure the last revolution is nice and smooth. And I have a little where I tried to tear the paper, so I'm just going to cut that off. Oh my God, you guys. Look at the pretty bead. Now, obviously, if your ends aren't even, you know, we can't, like with paper, like push and shift that paper because the whole entire thing is stuck. So it doesn't make the most neat edges on the ends. But just to make beads, even for kids to just play with, this is pretty good. No mess. Do love. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glaze this one. So it might have time to dry while we're doing this. I just put it on a bigger paintbrush so I can hold it, and then I'm going to take another paintbrush. This would not need to be glazed at all. It just feels good, but I'm just going to do it because I think it would make the bead harder. See, this is not hard. Whoops. See, this is not hard like the paper beads I make. I can't do that with the paper beads. I don't think this would ever get as hard because the paper beads with glue, it hardens. I mean, it turns almost like into wood, which is where paper once came from. But let's just see what the glaze will do. Don't want it too drippy. See, it doesn't absorb like in the paper, so it doesn't take much. Okay, I'm just gonna put that on one of my toothpicks here in my styrofoam thingy. We'll let that dry. Let's move on to a tapered bead. See how that will look. I will do a smaller one this time. We'll go with a 1/2 inch. I'm going to leave a bunch of this straight so it can start out as a tube bead, and then we'll taper the rest. So I'm going to just use this little line as my mark, this line that has a number 7 next to it. I'm going to taper to there. So I'm just going to eyeball this, and I just start cutting like at the center, and I just slowly work my way out to the edge of there. Then I turn it over and I do the same on the other side. Now I'm going to start right there in the center. We're going to make it really pointy there. And just go to there. I could make baby beads with this. I could. I think I will have to save that. Okay, once again, we're going to need a piece of paper to start this off. Okay, this is the hardest part right here. Peeling off that paper. Come on. There. Okay. And I'm just going to slap a piece of this on there. Stick it on. I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to just trim that off. And let's go. Now we're starting to get to the tapered part. And if you were to have like paper that was like stripes or something going in this direction, you would start to see the color showing through. This isn't going to do too much as a tapered bead because it's an all over modeled print as it is. But look, oh my God, the ease of rolling that and no glue. This is so cool for those of you who have an aversion to glue on your hands. You guys, I love this. I do. I super do love. This one isn't dry yet. The glossiness of it though. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it. So the Mod Podge really does add some sheen. And I have Super Gloss Mod Podge that I can try. Let's do Super Gloss on this guy. I bet Skylar will like to do this. She did it with me with beads, with the glue. I would get it started for her, and after I did a couple revolutions, I'd give the paintbrush with the bead to her, and she would roll it on the table. She'd just go like, and just roll the whole thing up. And she was good at that. Okay, let's get some Super Gloss. This one takes longer to dry, so I won't be able to hold it after, but I can always show it to you another time. The trick with the Super Gloss is to not do what I'm doing right now. You want to just go down and lift and not keep going over it. But I'm getting down to the end of my container, and it's a little bit thicker than it should be. Anyway, so this is what it looks like super glossed, wet, and we'll see how that turns out. Let me get some straws, and we're going to try that method. I just picked up these straws at Dollar Tree. I believe there's 80 in here. It said on the top, but I did a quick count, and it looks like 80, and that seems to be what I remember. These are not that big of an opening, and they're long. They're extra long, so you can get a lot of beads on one straw. And it's also an extra long flex. That's how they're promoted, extra long flex. It's about the same size core as this paintbrush. So let's try this now. We'll try a wide one first. And we won't do a tapered, we're just going to do regular, and I can use this end of the straw, doesn't matter, but I will use that end. Struggle with this for a few minutes. I just roll it back and forth a few times. I'm starting to figure it out. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this, I'm going to put it toward the end. We're just sticking it right on the straw. And we're just going to roll right there on the straw. I don't like that I have the wobbly part of the straw. That's making it a little bit harder for me. It's a little bit hard to keep it on track. It's almost easier to do a tapered bead. Yeah, I'm going off to the side. I probably didn't start straight enough. With a tapered bead, there's so much more leeway. We can do this. The rolling part is easy. This is not like so sticky that it's not like duct tape, where you can't get it off anything. Got it. Now, obviously this is not coming off the straw, so we have to trim the straw. And of course that's gonna fly somewhere on the floor, never to be seen again. And on this side. I couldn't really get close enough to snip down in there good. I might want to use a straw that would match or something, or if you don't care. And again, if this is just for the kids to have beads, do you know how many beads you can make out of a roll like this and a package of straws? The straws were $1 also, for $2. The kids can have tons of beads to make necklaces, and it's pretty, and you don't even have to glaze it. I'm just leaving this one like this. But let's try a tapered one on the straw. Let's go with, should we do a big tapered one? Let's do a big tapered one. I mean, this even comes with the grids to cut on. It's like the perfect craft thing. Okay, I'm going to taper it. Now it's wide, so I'm going to taper it much higher. I'm going to leave like, maybe this much straight, and I'm going to taper the rest, so I'm going to taper all this way. So I have my line for the center, so I'm just going to start at the center, and I'm just slowly going to work away from that line. I know I have a long way to go, so I don't have to rush it. Just going to keep slowly tapering out. And now I'm getting to where I want to just go off the edge, so there. Ooh, this for sure is a keeper. I'm just going to wing it without the line on this side because it's the easier way to hold it. I'm just going to, again, make my triangle a little wider as I go. There. So I'm just going to start peeling it. I even was getting better at that. And we're just going to put it near the end and start rolling. Now, my guess is that we won't have to be as careful because we're going to get to the tapered part very soon. And we are already getting to the tapered part. So we're just going to keep rolling. Just keep in the middle as much as possible. Wow. Now the way I cut it, it's more packed in the center than on the ends. Now you know what you can do at this point? We can always cut a little bit on the paper to really make it even to the straw. Like that. And like that. Oh my goodness. Look at the bead. Is this not the most exciting thing ever? Well, maybe not ever, but most exciting thing in my day so far. And then this guy that's glazed is pretty much dry. I mean, this just looks like real granite with the shine like that. That is awesome. And then our other little guy, plus you're seeing a sneak peek of beads that will come out in July. This is very tacky, and I don't want to touch it, but he will dry shiny. You might see him in a future video. So these are pretty cool. Very good way to make beads for kids, or for kids to make beads. There's no mess, no glue, nothing like that. Okay, before we go, let's try rolling these scraps. I'm going to go back to on the paintbrush. I like it on the paintbrush better. I think it's because I'm just so used to doing it that way. I'm just going to peel the paper back. I'm going to stick some paper on there. I'm just doing a piece of paper like this. Just shove that on there. And then let's trim on this side. And let's roll on a paintbrush. Yeah, I just like the feel better of the paintbrush. I can even like hold it better and stretch the plastic, we'll call it, you know, if I need to. Where with the straw, I don't have that control. But the straw is very good for kids, and if they want to roll beads, you know, we don't care if they're full of lumps and bumps or whatever. And you certainly would not have to have them roll an entire strip like that if it's on a straw. Let me show you after this what I mean. So see that scrap? Ugh, I've just never been so excited about an experiment. I wish you could see it better. Will it focus? Will it focus? Can I get, oh, it's focusing. Do you see? Okay, let's see if I can get the one with Mod Podge on it to focus. I don't know if you can see the sheen on the Mod Podge. You can't really. But it is, I can see it. The sheen is really nice. Okay, what I was saying is a child would not have to have a whole strip like this to make a bead. Let's just say you could do a piece this long, you know, easy to manage. Just let them get on the straw. I'll do it on this side. You know, it doesn't take much, just a couple revolutions is all it takes. It wouldn't even take more than that. I mean, you could use 2 inches of sticky paper. But I'm just going to go ahead and roll it. And then I'm going to do my trick of cutting on the paper itself. Trick that I just made up a minute ago. Look, you guys. Look at the cute little bead that I just made that took seconds to make. Oh my God. That is it for this video. I consider this not only an amazing success, but a shocking one. I did not think it was going to come out like this at all. But now we know we can roll this shit around this shit or around this shit and make this shit. Beautiful play beads that I would actually wear as a necklace. That is it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you liked this shit. Bye! I can't wait to go to Dollar Tree when Skylar is here and pick out some more shelf lining paper. I am going to have a blast with her with this. I hope you guys try it. Just remember, for the kids, you can just use a little bit of the paper, wrap it around a straw, and you're golden. Please subscribe while you're here so you don't miss my future shit videos.